Well, thank you, David. And both sides do arrive at this Mancunian head-to-head in excellent form. United 9 games unbeaten, and since losing at Spurs, City have won 5 games in a row in a hectic fortnight. Daniel James is fit again. Anthony Martial, another who started that first Solskjaer game 15 months ago. Scott McTominay, a victim of the change in formation, drops down to the bench. João Cancelo, perhaps a surprise pick over Kyle Walker at the back. Fernandinho was kept under wraps on Wednesday, and Oleg Zinchenko also returns.
Against Otamendi, less so far against Fernandinho. He's got...
Martial, that's the drop on Fernandinho. He's in for Manchester United here, and concentrating on hitting the target. He only hit the goalkeeper.
Well, they're getting chances, and I said not against Fernandinho, but now against Fernandinho. He loses out in a 50-50 duel on that side, and they had good chances.
Players breaking out of that defensive shape, but it's a free kick.
Well, there you see a complete swing. Not quite sure what's caused it. City certainly.
Clever free kick. And a goal! Not too clever from the goalkeeper. Martial has squeezed this one in. And Manchester United, who had a spell of superiority leading up to that free kick, have now made it count with the opener at Old Trafford. Coming up to half an hour gone.
Well, Ederson.
And now they've got greater belief from Matic, who's been hitting some shots from distance recently. Williams and Bruno Fernandes coming round the back. What a move that would have been rounded off if he could have just got his body shape right for the header. It wasn't easy.
He looked like he was just a little bit too eager, Bruno Fernandes. The cross was fantastic and he ran past it. Not sure why. Getting pulled forward and Otamendi's getting isolated in the left channel. He's having a real problem.
United trying to exploit that again with great ease. Wan-Bissaka. It was the cutback that Martial was looking for rather than the ball driven across the goal area.
Yeah, I'm not sure Zinchenko's helping his centre-back eye. That's really poor defending from the left-back.
Mahrez decided not to hit it with the left foot. I don't think his first touch was quite good enough to set up the second. Here's James. Leaving Zinchenko in his wake. Martial just too high for him. It was the only ball for Daniel James. No one else had caught up the play.
I mean, just announced that he might be the player that would make way. He's sprung into that right channel, left channel of Manchester City for the first time in his second half.
Here's Sterling. Away by Wan-Bissaka. Off goes James. He's going to get there. 2 against 3, and Bruno Fernandes making it 3. Daniel James could have, I guess the percentage, if he whacks it into the top corner you have a different view, but the percentage ball was the cutback for Bruno Fernandes.
The first bit he does perfectly. He has to go Otamendi. You know Otamendi's going to dive in at some point, but then he has to get his head up. Look at Fernandes at the penalty spot, just to pull that back.
Get down the outside of Luke Shaw, forward by Lindelof. The back heel by Igalo is astute. Fred. Bowled out. Oh, straight to McTominay. There's a goal to shoot at. There's a goal to find. And Manchester United have done the double in the derby. Scott McTominay with an extraordinary finish. It's another mistake. It's been error-strewn for Ederson, but celebration for Solskjaer. A third win for him over Guardiola this season. That's a considerable feat in itself. Great Scott for United.
Oh, I've not seen Old Trafford like this too many times.
Oh, what a boost towards Champions League football at Old Trafford next season. Manchester United go 10 games unbeaten now in all competitions, but they've done it dramatically, defensively it must be said. A free kick by Bruno Fernandes dispatched, not that convincingly by Martial, but Ederson let it in, and then the goalkeeper got the ball stuck in his glove as he bowled it out, and it went to McTominay, who gobbled up the chance gleefully. It looked as though 1 would be enough. 2 was the bonus, Gary. Final score, United 2, City 0. Well, Ole Gunnar has never beaten City as a player or a manager. He has David De Gea, a Derby veteran, in goal, but it's a first experience for Aaron Wan-Bissaka and Harry Maguire. Luke Shaw in for Ashley Young at left-back. His last Premier League start was in August. Ilkay Gundogan is available again after a midweek ban and amongst the City substitutes. In midfield, there have been more plaudits for Scott McTominay, who turns 23 tomorrow, and Fred, who's holding down a place too, for the latest chapter in this special story, and it's live. Good. For Lingard, Henderson sticks out a foot to good effect.
These are big chances, big chances.
Right with Fred. Lingard on the move as well. Rashford still going and going down. Will be scrutinised again at the VAR hub, and here's David Silva trying to catch David De Gea off his line.
I think it could be a penalty. I think it could be a penalty, but it was clumsy at best. It's a challenge from Bernardo Silva, and that, for me, is a penalty.
Rashford stutters and scores. Well, this wonderful run continues.
Guardiola, he couldn't put his finger on quite why they were where they were, but one of the biggest things is they can't sustain attacks. Look at this again. Rampant Manchester United.
Kyle Walker slipped over and Rashford's in again, and he's missed it.
They're going to ruin big moments. And Ole Gunnar, he stood by these young players over the last 2 or 3 months, but they're showing promise in this game. Some of the attacking plays.
Going 2 goals down, of course, is another matter, and Manchester United have had the chance to be 2 up already, and another one is looming large for Rashford again. Oh!
Well, Manchester City getting battered on the counter-attack. And Manchester United should be 2 or 3 goals up. Pep Guardiola trying to change something down beneath us.
Rashford steps in again. Martial's in the mood.
They leap like Joe Jordan, then Martial. They're up for it, that United front 4.
James. Martial, and he scored! It's 2-0. It's sneaked in at the near post. And really, it's no more than Manchester United deserve.
Rampant, relentless, and absolutely scintillating from Manchester United. He fancies a bit of this. Look at them celebrating together. They're putting in a special performance in this first half an hour. I've not seen anybody do this to Manchester City here.
Here's Wan-Bissaka joining in the counter-attacking brigade. James is not far away from Martial. Lingard was travelling in as well.
Just looking as Raheem Sterling was chasing Wan-Bissaka back there. Look like he pulled up, see there.
City start the second half. Waiting until the corner's taken. And it is 1 back. Otamendi came powering in. 6 minutes past up. And then well, that's it. United's derby. Ole Gunnar takes the scalp of Pep Guardiola to add to that of Jose Mourinho only 3 days ago. City out of sorts and maybe out of the title race.
Well, I have to say I never expected this today. Manchester City chasing down Liverpool, trying to win that 3rd title in a row. Manchester United have come here and shocked them. Martial, James, Rashford and Lingard, breathtaking for half an hour. And then the whole team for the last hour just dug in there.
Well, thank you, Scott. Just to back up what you've been saying in the studio, guys, since City switched to this stadium from Main Road, United have been the most successful visitors with 9 wins, but none by the 3-goal margin needed to take them to Wembley, and just one, which Darren Fletcher will remember well, I'm sure, by the 2, which would lead to a penalty shootout tonight. That was 15 years ago. Claudio Bravo stays as the domestic cup goalkeeper for Pep Guardiola, but Kyle Walker, Rodri, Kevin De Bruyne, Raheem Sterling and Sergio Aguero, who didn't start against Fulham, all return. United's big misses, of course, Marcus Rashford. Their shape looks similar to the one used in their recent visit to Anfield. David De Gea back in goal. The back three worked well on Sunday at Tranmere, but Luke Shaw takes over from Phil Jones. Nemanja Matic came off at half-time in that game, but he's OK. Matic and Fred have done well recently. And Mason Greenwood is preferred to Daniel James as the main ally to Anthony Martial. For a give and go. Come off his way because of the foul on Greenwood.
Yeah, Otamendi tries to get in front. And he just gets across him.
Shove there. That, Kevin Friend had a very good view of. He's not giving anything.
He said no straight away. He just sandwiched him. Cancelo and Rodri.
Odegaard's done well. Rodri.
He'll be lucky to get away with it, booking for that.
He was booked in the first leg. He did. It is indeed that from Fred. And it's led to a fantastic hit from Matic. And Manchester United have given a twist to the tail of this semi-final.
Oh.
Just to show his pace. And maybe to exploit a bit of inexperience on the left. João Cancelo. Free kick to United. Goes over it. In-swinger from Fred. And a chance, really. Maybe it was just a bit too high, the delivery. Maguire to keep the header down.
It's a big...
Manchester City win the place at Wembley. Manchester United win the game on the evening and push Pep Guardiola's team all the way, but they go yet again to the stadium, which is virtually their second home. United were damaged in the first leg, but they found some pride in the second leg. Nemanja Matic, 0-0 really. An excellent goal, the only goal of the second leg, and then sent off for a second yellow card.